something that I believe strongly in because I've experienced it in my own personal life, is that the external world is a mirror to our internal world. And what I mean by that is everything that I see or interact with in the external world, everything that I absorb in from the external world is actually only a reflection of what is happening inside of me. So when my external world is reflecting harmony and joy and love and connection and flow and ease, that's the state of my internal world. And when I am instead experiencing that disconnection, that the world is a dumpster fire feeling, that fear, that anxiety, that heaviness, that's because that's what I'm feeling inside of me. Or maybe a better way to put that is that's what I'm experiencing inside of me. And if it lasts, it's because I'm not allowing myself to accept that and to actually deeply feel it. And that's where I've been the last couple of weeks. And it's been very difficult for me to come off of my surfboard on top of the ocean and to dive deep long enough to actually feel that heaviness, that anxiety that's just, it's really begging to be seen and to be heard and to be felt and accepted. So just know that that meditation I just guided us through, that came from my soul, because it's what's being asked of me right now as much as it's being asked of you. And I'm sharing this with you because I feel that call and I'm answering yes. It is oftentimes we go into meditation with very specific questions and we go into the now looking for answers to all of these questions. And I have found more often than not that the more questions I go into a meditation with and cling to, the fewer answers I'll find, because what I find is that I end up just stuck up here. And when I started my meditation this morning and I connected to my energy field, I felt the energy like right up here. And so, like the crown of your head. So, if I think, oftentimes I'll do a double check. I'm like, is this one of my chakras activating? The crown of your head is more back here. So, if you're thinking, oh, I'm feeling this in my crown chakra, double check that. Because if you're feeling it up here, like right on the top of your head, right in your forehead, that's not your chakra. That's not an activation. That's where you've been stuck up in the mental realm and the processes and the thinking brain. And again, like I said earlier, that's okay. Just notice that. And as I went deeper and allowed myself to just feel it. And I just felt it. Because when I felt it there, I immediately was like, oh, let's shift that down. And I remembered that's not the answer either. Resisting what is, immediately wanting to change something because you don't like it, is only going to make it stronger. It seems counterintuitive because everything we've been taught in this world, which again is technically all an illusion, right? Because it's built on this illusion of separateness and disconnection. Everything we've been taught has taught us to make a goal, change what we don't like, and to not accept what we don't like. Never go for acceptance, because then you just say that whatever it is okay. And you're totally fine with it. Acceptance is not acquiescence. Acceptance is more acknowledgement. Acknowledgement of what is right now. The beauty of being eternal, loving beings is that we change constantly. And I love how my soul brought that out in the meditation too. Because whether you feel it or not, you are changing always. And when you are not changing or not feeling that change, when you are resisting your soul and that connection, or you're staying in resistance to maybe the external world, because like right now there's so much. And I think of all the protesters against ICE, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement agency in the US, that's charged with finding, detaining, and deporting people who have come into our country illegally. And one of the reasons why I keep thinking of these protesters is because the amount of resistance I feel personally towards diving into what feels so much bigger than me and is so scary. Like I shared before, I recognize that the protesters keep showing up in my mind's eye. I keep seeing news clips about them because they are in resistance to what is. And there might be very good reason for that, but that doesn't change what is happening and what our laws are. And this is an unfortunately very politically charged example. And I don't want this to be taken as this is my political stance or belief, because that's not what I'm trying to share. I am simply trying to share the very living example of how, for me right now, the external world is reflecting this deep turmoil inside of me. And if your external world is reflecting the same or similar, then just know that what's inside of you is what's asking to be seen, and it's asking to be seen by showing it to you in the external world. And so the way you change your external world is by being with what is inside your internal world, by letting it be seen, letting it be heard, letting it be felt. Because when you do that, rather than protesting it, resisting it, that's when you actually allow it to change. Like I said, you are always changing, but you have to allow yourself to access that change, to feel that, and to let it happen. Because your ego isn't the one who can change things, it's your soul. And you want to know how your soul changes things? By allowing. Think of maybe a young child, and when you allow their curiosity, when you allow them to play and to explore or to create the way that they want to create, it doesn't fit what we have really come to expect as appropriate forms of curiosity or creation. We want everything to be just so. We have all of these expectations that you should color within the lines, that creating isn't playing in the mud and smearing it all over the dog and then all over the walls. And yet, that's what creation is. That's what change is. It's so far outside of our mind and our ego's boxes that they've been shoving us into since we were little that we can't even comprehend what the change will actually be, what the creation will actually be. When we allow our souls to take over and to do that work for us, when we allow the change to just happen however it's going to happen, we're going to probably be shocked. We're going to learn things about ourselves and the world that we never could have dreamed. And just one minuscule example of that is how I have been convinced for years that I am healthier if I do intermittent fasting and I eat in a condensed eating window. And uh, in the last 10, 11, 12 days, something like that, I've been focusing on getting a specific amount of protein in a day, like within a specific window of protein. And I haven't worried about anything else I'm eating uh, or anything like that. I've just been focusing on that because it felt really important to my body to bring that focus in. And something that I learned in the first couple of days that I really struggled with is that I had to eat a lot more than what I've been eating. And the first 2 or 3 days, it was really hard to eat that much. And it felt really counterintuitive for me to eat so much, especially when ultimately I'd like to lose some weight. I'm carrying quite a few excess pounds, um, but I'm also weightlifting and doing intense cardio 4 days a week. And my body needs more protein, right? And if eating more food is what it took to actually get the protein, then I needed to try it. And what I found is I have actually started to lose weight by eating more and by eating more protein. And I think it was yesterday, I was on Instagram briefly and a reel came up of someone that I don't think I've ever interacted with before on Instagram, but they noted that all of the intermittent fasting benefits, all of that research was pretty much done on exclusively men. And when they researched intermittent fasting on women, they found that women did poorly with that. And I had no idea. And that came after I had realized that I needed to eat more and I needed to eat more frequently if I expected to get the protein in. And am I still kind of struggling to eat more frequently through the day? Oh, yeah. Trying to change years of habits here. But again, I never expected when I allowed my soul to just work through me and point out, hey, maybe you should try some more protein. Like, okay, I never expected the change to be like this. And I never expected that by eating more and more regularly that I would actually start to lose weight. So, so again, I know I've spoken with you all about expectations becoming limitations again before, but just remember your soul, God, they really do have a plan for you and they know what's best for you. And it's so beyond what your mind can come up with. And when we try to limit God to working within what our mind says, that's why our world keeps being turned upside down and why things keep not going the way we think they should, because that's not how this works.